welcome to The Tonight Show. My name is Jimmy Fallon, and there's The Roots right there. Oh, always good to see The Roots. Let's get to the news and jokes. Well, guys, this morning, President Trump called into Fox Business and spent the majority of the interview attacking different women. Listen to this.
What is your reaction to Kamala Harris?
Now you have a sort of a mad woman, I call her. AOC was a poor student. This is not even a smart person. I mean, she goes out and she yaps. Nancy Pelosi is stone cold crazy.
Man, looks like someone woke up on the wrong side of the MyPillow. Mad woman, not smart, and stone cold crazy. Yeah, he's tough on the phone, but if he really had guts, he'd say all that on The View. And just to drop a cherry on top of the misogyny Sunday, Trump also sent a tweet calling Morning Joe's Mika Brzezinski a ditzy airhead. Seriously, if you had a coworker who came in and said that kind of stuff about women, they wouldn't be your coworker by the end of the day. It's like, all right, I've insulted everyone here. I'm just going to get my coat. See myself out. At this point, our best shot at Trump attacking COVID is someone telling him the virus ovulates. If the election doesn't work out, Trump can always get a job as the worst Hallmark card writer ever. Happy Valentine's Day to my suburban housewife. Please don't become a stone-cold, crazy, ditzy, mad woman who goes out and yaps. Right now, AOC is like, I double majored in economics and international relations. You double majored in elephants and lunch. Well, despite all that, the president's campaign now has a Women for Trump bus that is traveling the country. Look at this thing. Fun fact, that's actually the old Access Hollywood bus with the new paint on. Meanwhile, the Wienermobile saw that and was like, well, hello. Also in his interview, Trump discussed how Democrats want funding for the Postal Service, and he said something kind of alarming. Listen to this.
They want $25 billion for the post office. Now, they need that money in order to have the post office work so it can take all of these millions and millions of ballots. If we don't make a deal, that means they don't get the money. That means they can't have universal mail-in voting. They just can't have it.
Okay. He just admitted that he's not agreeing to a deal to fund the Postal Service because he doesn't want mail-in voting to be possible for the election. Trump's like one of those movie villains who spends so much time explaining his plan out loud that the good guy manages to shimmy out of his handcuffs. First, I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to put you in the piranha tank. Then, I'm going to get a buzzsaw, and the buzzsaw's slowly going to come right down the middle. He's gone. Postal workers were like, how much less funding can you give us? We don't even have pants. No one is happy about this. Millions of Americans wrote Trump angry letters about it, but he was like, weird, I didn't get anything. But this is nice. When he found out Trump was meddling in the election himself, Putin was like, they grow up so fast. Speaking of the election, after Joe Biden announced that Kamala Harris was his VP pick, the Trump campaign was quick to release an official statement. Yeah, it seems like they can't make up their mind about how to criticize her. Check out this ad.
Hey progressives, do you really want Kamala Tough on Crime Harris as your VP? We didn't think so. And hey moderates, do you really want Kamala Not Tough Enough on Crime Harris as your VP? We didn't think so either. Look, here's the truth. Kamala Harris is a radical. Sorry if that triggers you. But at the very same time, she's not nearly radical enough. Double triggered much? Kamala loves unicorns, but she hates horses with horns growing out of their head. She thinks kittens are cute, but she thinks that baby cats are overrated. She is the yin and she is the yang. She is anti and she is pro. She is yes and she is no. She is boring and she is yowza too spicy. Bottom line, Kamala Harris is too extreme and or not extreme enough. This ad brought to you by the Trump Campaign for Non-Self-Conflicting Messages.
Just hard to understand. Well, even though Trump's spending his time calling into Fox, I'm sure his administration is focused on the important issues facing our nation, right?
The Trump administration wants to change the definition of a shower head to let more water flow. President Trump talked about the need to keep his hair perfect and complained multiple times that he was not getting wet enough.
Wow. First of all, I just want to apologize for making everyone picture Trump in the shower. Even more upsetting, he took our top scientists off vaccine research and put them on this. It's not getting wet enough in the shower? Meanwhile, Americans were like, shower heads, we haven't bathed in 5 months. Let's get to some business news. As movie theaters across the country attempt to reopen, AMC has come up with a way to bring customers back. Listen to this.
AMC has announced that it is reopening its theaters next week, and tickets will be just 15 cents on reopening day.
Yep. For 15 cents, you can spend 2 hours in full panic wondering if it was worth it. Should I be doing this?
What's a dime and a nickel?
Yeah. When they heard that, old people were like, we're going to go to the matinee because it only costs a dime. Yeah.
The original what? The Nickelodeon.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. They go, wow, is this worth it? Should I be? All it takes is one person to go, you're like, I'm out. Okay, I'm good. What am I doing? In more serious news, I saw that Pringles is now... So that Pringles is now selling a chip that tastes like a Wendy's Baconator, and they want people to dip them in Frosties in their milkshakes. Take a look at these things. Yeah, they're actually trying out some new slogans. Check it out. First, there's a personal pandemic for your insides. Next, there's, honestly, it's probably safer to swallow the can. Then there's, they don't expire because they were never okay to begin with. Next, there's just try not to think about how weird of a couple Mr. Pringle and Wendy are. And finally, once you pop, your heart will stop. Just be careful when you're... and finally, this is going viral. This skinny house in Illinois was just sold for $260,000. Check this thing out. Look at this. Look at that. Can you see it again? Put it up again. Yeah. It's a skinny house. Yeah. When you put your mail through the front slot, it just flies out the back. That house is the only thing in America that stayed skinny during quarantine. Right now, every other house on the block is like, wait, am I fat? Yep, the sides of the house are just 3 feet wide, or as New Yorkers call that, a palace.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on.